You see, you got to take action, people. You have to take action. I remember I came home one time, and I've told my kids 1,000 times to turn the lights off. I'm telling you, they do not turn the lights off. They walk out of the bedroom, they leave the light on. They go to the bathroom, they leave the light on. I came home, every light in the place was on. We have a chandelier with about 16 lights in it. It was on. The front porch light was on. The back porch light was on. The garage lights were on. The bedrooms were all on. The radios were all on. The TV was all on. I opened the icebox. The light was on. Every single light in the house was on, including the closets. I walked into the bathroom and the hair curlers are still on from morning. I went out there and looked at the meter, and that thing's going, yeah. That's my blood and guts going down that drain, isn't it? And I go in and I tell them over and over and over, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. And I go around and turn everything off. Well, I'm sick of that. So I got me a glove and a bag. And then all the lights was on, and I went and I collected about 40 bulbs in the house. And the house got darker and darker and darker and darker. Family meeting, everybody in the kitchen. I did not take the fluorescent lights out in the kitchen. Didn't do that. I said, everybody in here, and the kids were saying, Daddy, we got to study. I said, all the lights. I got this whole bag full of hot bulbs, okay? And I'm setting it here. I say, family meeting. So we're not going to have this anymore. And I go out there and look at this thing. It's going barely, turn it. I feel good. The lights are all out. So I says, family council here. What's Papa doing? He's nuts. And Mama says, this is one of Daddy's things. Come in here. We'll humor him and get it done in a little minute. I said, I'm tired of this. I gave him my regular, you're wasting speech. You know what I mean? They had all my lectures memorized. David says, this is lecture 22, that we're not typical family. And this is what, we don't do this and we don't do this lecture. So I had them all numbered. So anyway, so what happened actually, I said, everybody in here now. And so here they come. I says, okay, from now on, I'm going to issue all of you one each light bulb. I suggest you get a flashlight. I do not supply batteries. And you can take the flashlight and get the bulb out and go down the hall or wherever you're going with the flashlight and then screw the bulb in. And when you leave, you take the bulb with you. You need a glove and a flashlight. And I gave everybody a bulb. Watch out, it's still a little hot. Here's a bulb, here's a bulb, here's a bulb. All right, everybody gets a bulb. Mama says, you're crazy. I says, no. She says, I'm going to divorce you. I said, give me back your bulb. Okay. Does it do any good, people? Don't you have to take action? You guys know what I'm talking about? You come home and see every light in the house on? Okay. You have similar floor? Okay. Now this one is a bathroom one. This guy was into the program. He got our program, and he just started, hadn't listened to all the stuff or read the books or anything, but he started the program. Had been to a lecture like this. So he went home, and the first thing he did says, okay, he could not get his little 12-year-old boy to clean the bathroom. Wouldn't do it. Would not do it. It was stinky. And Mom said, I'm pulling back. And it was stinky. You know what I mean? You know how bathrooms get? That smell? And people can't stand that. Mamas can't stand that. Dads can't stand that. Does a 12-year-old care? No, they don't care. They don't own the problem. And so Dad goes in there. He says, I've had it. And he heard about quarantine because I have a quarantine sign in my program. So he quarantined the bathroom. And the dad says, your bathroom is forthwith quarantined. You got to clean your bathroom. The boy, 12 years old, said, I don't do bathrooms. And the dad says, your mother's not going to do your bathroom. Your mother is the queen of this home, not the person who cleans out the potty you use. And you get your ring out of the tub when you're done with it. And you clean up in your place. And you pick stuff off the floor and put it in the hamper. There's no need to drop it there and give them a little speech. Does it matter to a 12-year-old? The hamper is right here, and he drops it right in front of the hamper. You know, you can't control kids. Dad says, I've had it with this. I will not tolerate this anymore. The kid says, I don't do bathrooms. Dad says, therefore, your bathroom is quarantined. And if your bathroom is quarantined, hotshot, you cannot use anybody else's bathroom in this house. The kid says, I don't care. And the dad was kind of flying by the seat of his pants, and the mother's looking. And so the dad says, well, you can't use anybody else's bathroom in this house. I suggest then, Dad's thinking he's going along, then you stop off at a gas station and do your little thing before you come home. Or work out a deal with the neighbors and use their potty. But you cannot use ours. And I don't care. And the dad says, I foresee a problem. I know what's going to happen. You're going to be jumping around on one foot. So he went outside into the garage and got a bucket. He says, this is your bathroom. From this day forward, until you clean your bathroom and measure up here, you go out in the backyard. We're scouts. I'll show you what to do. You just put your little goodies right in this bucket. And I'll show you how to dispose of them so we don't kill everybody in the neighborhood. And that's what we'll do from now on. The kid says, I don't care. And was it hard on the family? This guy was a doctor. He lived in kind of a nice area. People looking over the fence. Got a problem with your plumbing, sonny? You know? After 4 days, they came home. Mama was crying, looking through the Venetian blinds in the backyard. And he goes, what's the matter? And her little 12-year-old was out there on a bucket. With his chin on his hand, just sitting there. And Mom said, that's it, you and Jones are crazy. So he says, okay, we'll quit. And at the very moment when they were going to quit, the kid came in and says, Dad, he says, what? He says, I do bathrooms. So Dad charged him $10 inspection fee, right off. $10 inspection fee? Yeah, that's the health inspector fee. Didn't you know about that? No, I didn't know about it. You didn't tell me. Well, you didn't ask. There's what it is. And if it doesn't pass inspection, the next inspection is $20. Do you think you get the guy's attention? So they opened the bathroom, he cleaned it up, and they haven't had any problems anymore. He appreciated his bathroom. But that was right at the point where Mom and Dad were going to break. Do they know how far to push? They know that they can push you, and they want you to, what? Give in. Yes, absolutely. So this is the bathroom. All right, so you might get a porta potty, have it handy. The kitchen. The mother could not get these people to set the table before dinner. So Mom was worried about it. And she came to group. She says, how can I get my kids to set the table before dinner? Every time it's a big power struggle, and it's a big hassle, and then we sit down, everybody's cross. And so what can we do? I says, well, use the program. She says, the program doesn't work. I nag them, and they don't do it. I said, the program isn't about nagging. The program's about taking action. Just let a consequence happen. Just let it go. She says, what do you mean? I said, think about it. In about 2 weeks, she come back. Says, I got a good story for the group. We'll share. She says, okay, I went home. I didn't say anything. I said, I don't nag about clothes anymore. I don't nag about feeding the dog. I just love all you little children. And I don't nag about your clothes on the floor. I don't nag about toys. I don't nag about anything. I'm done. You know where the toys go. You know the dog should be fed. You know the bed should be made, etc. So beware. Mama loves you. And then she smiled. The kids say, what's the matter? Now they didn't come to dinner, didn't get the table set. So Mom just came in. Okay, come for dinner time. Oh, Mama, we didn't set the table. We're sorry. We'll do it. No more games, okay? No more games. Just sit down. We're going to have dinner. But Mama, we didn't, we didn't sit down, sweethearts. Mama loves you. And so they sat down. And they had a prayer on an empty table. And the girls are just sitting there, the two little girls. And so she went into the kitchen and got a whole kettle of spaghetti. And it had the red sauce in it, and the cheese in it, and the onions in it, and the hamburger all mixed in it. And she came out to where they were eating. And they were at the table, and Papa was here, and the one girl was here, and the other girl was right across. And Mama stood there, and she took this great big spoon of spaghetti, about a half a pound. And she says, Mr. Jones, it's all in the wrist. And she showed the class how to do it. You just flip it like that. And this lady was an actress, and she was really funny. We were falling out of our chairs. And she made a spaghetti missile. And she went, whing! And that went past her husband's nose and lit right in that first spot and slid about 6 inches, right up against this little girl. And there's little red specks all over. Ah! And before you could say it, more spaghetti incoming. And boom, right there. And then he was very dainty, gave her husband some, put a little bit for her, went back to the kitchen, came back like nothing in the world happened. The daddy was eating it with 2 hands. He was just eating it. He's right into this. The mother took some. She was eating it. And the 2 girls were sitting there with their hands spread out. And they were crying. They weren't so much worried about their dresses. They thought their mother had gone nuts. Okay? Mother had really flipped out. And the minute they've just eaten like nothing ever happened. Now, that wouldn't work for me. We raised boys. They'd love that. Oh, boy, let's do it every night. They'd be eating it. The little pigs. It wouldn't work. In a minute, Mother comes back in. Anybody want anything to drink? Had a pitcher of stuff. No, we don't want anything to drink. I'm sure it's really good. No, Mama, we don't need any. Is this cool? You think their kids will be talking about that when they're parents? Well, we didn't get to the table on time and get the table set. Mother just came out and went just like that, right on the table. And we ate with our fingers. Now you people can't you just see what kind of parents they're going to be? Huh? Standing back and throwing spaghetti through the air. Woo-hoo! Anyway, that's something the kids will remember. Now those kids came to the table and had it set on time, or they were afraid to show up from then on. Okay. All right. Okay. Any task, you use these sheets for any task. Whether it's the garage, picking up landmines, whatever that is. You do those, some of you are crying. What's the matter? Okay. All right. Try it. It's great. You just let it happen. You see, this is allowing them to experience the stupidity of their irresponsible decisions. Does that make any sense? You don't put bowls on the table, I'll serve it in your lap, All right. Any task, trash, lawn, setting tables, woodwork, garage, anything you want. Also, there's a Pigpen Award. This is the quarantine. Then you quarantine it. You quarantine it for 48 hours or a week, depending on the offense. And pick a good time. Just before the prom's a good time. Just when they got all their homework, they got to turn it. You lock that room up. You quarantine it. They got a big date and their bathroom is shut down. Okay. Mom, my dress is in there. Oh, I'm sure you'll work out. You're a very resourceful girl. Honey, do you think they'll believe it? Oh, yeah, they'll do it. Okay, maid service. Here's the maid service. Dishes, $3. In other words, you make a chart, and the maid service fee is about 3 or 4 or 5 times more than what that person would make actually doing the chore themselves, okay? That job themselves. And therefore, it's got to be very, very hurtful to the person who doesn't do their chore and very, very rewarding to the person who does it and picks up the slack. Does that make sense? Have no mercy and no double standard. You leave your junk around, then somebody picks it up, it's 25 cents, okay? I went to Canada where they had this lady had the program. She had me come talk in Canada to that prefecture or whatever it was out that something. And I walked in, and they're on a farm, and so you take your shoes off, and everybody's got a place. And I'd come a couple days, and I was there, and she told me to put my shoes right there. There was no, so they had cubby holes where everybody put their shoes. Very, very cold in Alberta where that was. And so I came in, and the little boy came home, and he saw my shoes. They were not up there. Now, he didn't care. There was no place to put them. He screamed like he just saw a mountain lion or something. Ah! I got Mr. Jones's shoes. I heard his voice fading into the distance. He got my shoes and took off with my shoes. They weren't in the thing. And the rule was you couldn't have no shoes on the floor. No shoes on the floor, and it's 25 cents. I got Mr. Jones's shoes. He was turning around. He was hiding them somewhere. And he came back and says, Mr. Jones, I got your shoes. They were in a bad place, and they were not put away. And the mother says, oh, he didn't. I said, never mind. This is a good thing. He says, it's 25 cents. I says, well, all I have is American money. Will you take that? He says, is it any good? I said, it's better than yours. He says, okay, I'll take it. And he ran and got them. He saw my money first. And he ran and got my shoes, and we kind of went like this. He wouldn't let go of that thing. I wouldn't let go of the money. And that says, okay, you got them. Her mother says, you don't have to pay. I said, I want to. I want to pay it. And the kid is so happy. I said, where do you want me to put my shoes? He pointed out a place. The idea was that house was so clean you could not believe it. Anything was put down, you pick it up, and you made money. No double standard. And now Dad's looking for his briefcase. Where did it go? The kids got it. You pay happily. Then you pick their stuff up. You pick up stuff, you get 25 cents an article, or whatever you decide, a nickel or whatever. You pick up toys, and they don't get them back till they pay for them. And don't say, well, I don't want the stuff, you keep it. You say, no, you're paying for the maid service. You're paying for somebody to pick up your junk. And you pay them. You want to throw it away after you pay? That's yours. You take care of it. But you made a mess, and they picked up your mess. Therefore, you owe the money. You understand the way it goes? So the maid service, they can do beds or whatever. You make your own thing. You make your own list for maid service.